he turned down Wembanyama and playing in that game so he could be rested up to chase this triple-double against the Dallas Mavericks. It's not a good look for LeBron. He is not.
Jason, the NBA needs to lose this guy. They need to shed the weight of this fraud so they can fully start healing this product. Whoever knows, knows, and whoever doesn't, doesn't. Like the LeBron, the blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Jason Whitlock just unloaded on LeBron James. And this time, the criticism isn't coming from a rival player or a random fan on social media. It's coming from a media personality who has built a reputation on saying the things others are afraid to say. And the accusation? Stat padding. Not just any stat padding either. Chasing a triple-double in a blowout game while skipping a tougher matchup earlier to stay rested. That's the narrative now exploding across sports media. And it's putting LeBron's legacy back under the microscope in a way we haven't seen in a long time.
Well, LeBron James, last night, historic moment, Skap. I know you know where you were at last night. He became the oldest player with a triple-double.
Do you think LeBron James is chasing milestones at this stage of his career? Or is the criticism just overblown? Drop your honest take in the comments.
I found this tweet. I think it was from Apex Jones. Just trashing. Yeah, it was from Apex Jones. My memory's great. The king of stat hunting, stat padding, and smoke ducking, LeBron James. LeBron, you can't use his full name. The face of the NBA's load management black eye shamelessly load managed the 2-seed Spurs. He skipped the game with Wembanyama and the Spurs, and then stays in a 20-point blowout over the 12-seed Mavericks to chase a triple-double. He stole a rebound that clearly belonged to Jackson Hayes to become the oldest player to record a triple-double.
The moment that sparked the outrage seems simple on the surface. Late in the fourth quarter of a 20-point game, LeBron stayed on the floor chasing his 10th rebound to secure a triple-double. The Lakers had already handled the Mavericks. The game was effectively over. Coaches usually pull stars in those situations to avoid injury. But LeBron stayed in, grabbed the board, and made history as the oldest player to record a triple-double. Headlines praised the milestone. Social media celebrated the longevity. But critics saw something completely different. Jason Whitlock and his co-host didn't see a historic achievement. They saw a calculated move. They saw a veteran superstar prioritizing individual milestones over team rhythm and optics. They questioned why LeBron logged heavy minutes in a blowout while sitting out a more competitive matchup earlier. And their argument wasn't subtle. They called it stat hunting. They called it legacy management. And most brutally, they called it fraud behavior.
This single play defines his career. Holy cow, career. Using Hayes' box out to steal the rebound. Hayes worked for and pad his numbers to reach another milestone fraudulently, cheating the game and his teammates for his own self-aggrandizement. 23 years, a fraud.
According to Whitlock, this wasn't just about one rebound. He framed it as a snapshot of LeBron's entire career approach. Always aware of the narrative, always conscious of the numbers, always chasing moments that strengthen his legacy. The triple-double became symbolic. Not just a stat line, but a statement. A reminder that LeBron knows exactly what history remembers, and he's determined to control how that history is written.
I was going to say, Apex Jones sounds like he hates LeBron more than I do, so shout out, Apex. Look, I'll say this about LeBron, and that, let me expand upon that tweet real quick, or whatever, that posting on X. Look at the stats look at this highlight you're showing. Shout out to your production team. That rebound came with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter of a 20-point blowout against a team not even in the play-in range right now, who, by the way, didn't even have Cooper Flag last night.
Critics pointed to the timing. 2 minutes left. Game decided. Opponent struggling. LeBron still on the floor, still chasing that 10th rebound. And when he finally got it, the celebration felt personal, like a mission completed. To them, it didn't feel organic. It felt intentional. And intention is what fuels this entire debate. Because if the numbers are being chased, then the greatness becomes questioned. And if greatness is questioned, the GOAT conversation shifts instantly.
There were 24 other guys that logged a minute in that game, and LeBron played more than all of them to chase down that 10th rebound, which he did again. Obviously, snag it right off of his center right there, Jackson Hayes. And then, of course, he's running down the court pointing, and the crowd is cheering. It is a disgusting moment. We seriously, the NBA needs to lose this guy.
Whitlock's argument went deeper than just the play itself. He suggested that LeBron's career has increasingly leaned towards statistical milestones over the past few years. The older LeBron gets, the more these moments seem to matter. The oldest to do this, the fastest to reach that, the only player to achieve a certain combination. Every record becomes part of the narrative. Every stat becomes another pillar supporting his place in history.
The LeBron, the blind apologists, the bootlickers and jock sniffers out there will be groveling at the feet of the fraud king all day today over this sham triple-double. It's just laughable.
Steve, it reminded me a lot of Kobe Bryant's 60-point night to end his career. Your thoughts?
And that's where the criticism hits hardest. Because the GOAT debate isn't just about numbers, it's about perception. It's about dominance, leadership, and authenticity. When fans believe stats come naturally, they celebrate them. But when they believe stats are being chased, the celebration turns into skepticism. The same triple-double that one group calls historic, another calls manufactured. Whitlock also brought up the broader media environment surrounding LeBron. He argued that mainstream coverage often amplifies LeBron's milestones while downplaying the context. A triple-double becomes the headline. The blowout becomes a footnote. The minutes played become irrelevant. The debate gets flattened into praise instead of analysis. And that, according to critics, protects LeBron's image. The idea that media narratives shape legacy isn't new, but with LeBron it feels amplified. He's played in the social media era, the highlight era, the era where perception moves faster than reality. Every game is dissected, every moment becomes content, and when a superstar is constantly in that spotlight, every decision carries weight. Staying in a game for a rebound isn't just a basketball decision anymore. It's a branding decision. The comparison to past legends inevitably followed. Critics argued that the greatest players didn't need to chase moments. They created them through competition, through wins, through championships, through dominance against elite teams. The suggestion is that their legacies were built in the fire of competition, not in the comfort of statistical milestones during blowouts. Supporters of LeBron see this criticism as unfair and selective. They argue that stat padding has existed forever. Players chase rebounds. Players stay in games for scoring titles. Players hunt assists to complete triple-doubles. It's part of basketball culture. And if LeBron is being singled out, it's because of the impossible standard placed on him. Every move scrutinized, every moment judged differently. But Whitlock's point wasn't that LeBron invented stat padding. It was that LeBron's position in the GOAT debate makes every instance more significant. When you claim the throne, every detail matters. Every decision gets magnified. The expectations become unrealistic, and the margin for perception mistakes disappears. Another layer of the criticism focused on leadership. If a team is up big, should the leader be chasing numbers or protecting his health? Should the priority be personal milestones or long-term success? Critics argue that true leadership is about knowing when to step aside, knowing when the moment belongs to the team, not the individual. And that's where this moment rubbed some fans the wrong way. The Lakers' situation adds even more complexity. This isn't a rebuilding team. This is a franchise expected to compete. Every minute matters. Every injury risk matters. And when a 40-plus superstar stays in a decided game, questions naturally follow. Is it necessary? Is it smart? Is it about winning or about history? Whitlock framed the triple-double as part of a larger pattern, the pursuit of narrative control, the awareness of legacy conversations, the constant positioning in the GOAT debate. And whether that's fair or not, it resonates with a portion of fans who feel LeBron has always been hyper-aware of his place in history. There's also the emotional element. Some fans feel disconnected from this version of LeBron. They remember the explosive young superstar who played with raw intensity, the player who attacked every game like it mattered. Now they see a veteran calculating moments, managing minutes, and selecting when to push. That evolution is natural for aging athletes, but it changes perception. Whitlock's harshest criticism wasn't about the rebound itself, it was about what it represented. He called it ego, he called it self-promotion. He called it a player more concerned with personal milestones than team identity. Whether that's accurate or exaggerated depends on perspective, but the conversation itself shows how polarizing LeBron remains even after 2 decades. And that's the reality of LeBron James. He's not just a player anymore. He's an institution, a brand, a symbol of modern basketball. Every moment feeds into a narrative larger than the game. Every stat becomes part of the GOAT debate. Every decision becomes a talking point. What makes this situation fascinating is how quickly the narrative splits. One side sees greatness, longevity, historic achievement. A 40-year-old still dominating, still producing, still rewriting record books. The other side sees calculation, stat chasing, image management, a superstar protecting his place in history. The truth likely sits somewhere in between. Great players care about their numbers. They care about milestones. They care about legacy. That doesn't make them frauds, it makes them competitive. But the balance between team success and personal achievement is where the debate lives. Whitlock's comments struck a nerve because they challenged the mythology. The idea that LeBron's greatness is purely organic. The idea that every record simply happened. By framing the triple-double as intentional stat padding, he reframed the moment entirely. From historic achievement to calculated milestone. And in the social media era, perception spreads instantly. Clips circulate, opinions harden. Narratives form before context can catch up. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about the game. It's about LeBron's character, his priorities, his authenticity. What happens next will determine how long this story lives. If the Lakers win, the criticism fades. Winning silences everything. But if they struggle, moments like this resurface. They become evidence. They become proof for critics who believe LeBron prioritizes legacy over results. That's the burden of greatness. The higher you climb, the harsher the fall. The louder the criticism, the deeper the scrutiny. Every move matters. Every rebound matters. Every minute matters. Jason Whitlock didn't just criticize a play. He challenged a legacy. He questioned motives. He attacked the narrative surrounding one of the most celebrated athletes of all time. And whether people agree or disagree, they're talking about it, debating it, arguing about it. Because LeBron James still commands the spotlight, still drives the conversation, still shapes the culture of the sport. Love him or hate him, ignore him is impossible. And maybe that's the real story here. Not the triple-double, not the rebound, not even the criticism. The story is that after more than 20 years, LeBron still sits at the center of basketball discourse. Still polarizing, still relevant, still powerful enough that one late-game rebound can ignite a national debate. The question now isn't whether LeBron stat padded. The question is how history will remember moments like this. As proof of longevity or proof of calculation? As greatness or as ego? That answer won't be decided today. It'll be decided over time, through wins, losses, and the final chapters of a career that refuses to fade quietly. For now, the debate rages on. Critics call it stat padding, supporters call it greatness, and LeBron keeps playing, keeps producing, and keeps adding chapters to a legacy that might be the most scrutinized in sports history. Because in the end, that's what this all comes down to. Legacy. Not just numbers, but meaning. Not just milestones, but perception. And every time LeBron steps on the court, he's not just playing a game. He's shaping how he'll be remembered. What's your verdict on LeBron James? Historic greatness still unfolding, or clear stat padding hurting his legacy? Sound off in the comments, debate it with other fans, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more real, unfiltered NBA discussions.